Most people spend their entire lives chasing comfort, avoiding pain, and holding on to illusions that keep them feeling safe. But deep down, you already know the truth: comfort doesn't make you strong, and illusions don't set you free. Real growth begins the moment you face what is uncomfortable, what is painful, and what is undeniably real. Stoicism is not about making you feel good all the time. It is about making you stronger, wiser, and unshakable in a world that is unpredictable and often harsh. The truths you are about to hear may not be easy to accept. In fact, they might challenge everything you believe about life, success, relationships, and even yourself. They may make you pause, reflect, and even feel uncomfortable. But that discomfort is not your enemy, it is your awakening. Because when you finally accept these truths, you stop fighting reality and start mastering it. You stop being controlled by fear, emotions, and external events, and you begin to take full control of your inner world. That is where true freedom lies. If you are ready to grow, to think differently, and to become mentally stronger than ever before, then these Stoic truths will change the way you see everything. 1. You are not in control of most things in life. There is a harsh awakening that comes when you finally realize how little control you truly have over the external world. You can plan your life down to the smallest detail, set goals, build routines, and still, life will unfold in ways you never expected. People will disappoint you, opportunities will slip through your fingers, and circumstances will shift without your permission. This truth can feel crushing at first because it challenges the illusion that effort guarantees outcomes. But Stoicism teaches that this is not a reason for despair, it is a gateway to freedom. When you stop trying to control everything outside of you, you release a massive burden from your shoulders. You begin to understand that your real power lies in your thoughts, your choices, and your reactions. No one can take that away from you unless you allow them to. Instead of resisting reality, you align yourself with it. Instead of wasting energy on what you cannot change, you invest it in who you are becoming. This shift in perspective transforms frustration into clarity. You become calmer, more resilient, and less shaken by life's unpredictability. Accepting what you cannot control is not weakness, it is the highest form of strength, because it allows you to focus entirely on mastering yourself. 2. People think about you far less than you imagine. One of the most liberating yet uncomfortable truths you will ever face is that people are not thinking about you nearly as much as you believe. We often live our lives as if we are constantly being watched, judged, and evaluated by others. This invisible pressure shapes our decisions, limits our authenticity, and keeps us trapped in a cycle of seeking approval. But the reality is that most people are too consumed by their own worries, insecurities, and responsibilities to focus on you for long. This realization can sting at first because it dismantles the ego's desire to feel important in the eyes of others. However, it also sets you free in a powerful way. You no longer need to over-explain yourself, impress everyone, or chase validation. You can speak your truth, pursue your goals, and live your life without constantly looking over your shoulder. Stoicism encourages you to detach from the opinions of others and instead anchor your self-worth in your own values and actions. When you stop performing for an audience that isn't even paying attention, you gain a sense of inner peace that is unshakable. You become more confident, more authentic, and more focused on what truly matters to you. 3. You will lose people no matter how much you love them. No matter how deeply you care about someone, you cannot guarantee that they will stay in your life forever. This is one of the most painful truths to accept because it confronts our natural desire for permanence in relationships. People change, circumstances evolve, and sometimes, paths simply diverge. You may lose people through distance, misunderstandings, or even death. Holding on too tightly, trying to control or preserve every relationship, often leads to greater suffering. Stoicism teaches you to love without attachment in a way that honors both presence and impermanence. It encourages you to appreciate the time you have with others without making them the foundation of your happiness. When you understand that loss is a natural part of life, you begin to cherish moments more deeply instead of fearing their end. You become more present, more grateful, and less desperate to hold on. This does not make you cold or detached, it makes your love purer and more grounded. You give without clinging, and you accept change without breaking. In doing so, you protect your peace while still allowing yourself to experience meaningful connections. The strength to let go is what ultimately allows you to grow. 4. Life is not fair and never will be. There is a deep discomfort that comes with accepting that life is fundamentally unfair. From a young age, many of us are taught to believe that good behavior leads to good outcomes and that justice will always prevail. But reality often contradicts this belief. You will see dishonest people succeed while hardworking individuals struggle. You will experience setbacks that seem undeserved and victories that feel delayed. This can lead to frustration, anger, and even bitterness if you cling to the expectation of fairness. Stoicism challenges you to let go of this expectation entirely. It teaches that the universe does not operate according to your sense of justice, and resisting this truth only creates unnecessary suffering. Instead, you are encouraged to focus on your character, your actions, and your response to whatever life presents. You cannot control the cards you are dealt, but you can control how you play them. When you stop demanding fairness, you start creating your own meaning and direction. You become less reactive and more intentional. You no longer measure your life based on external outcomes but on the integrity of your choices. This shift empowers you to remain steady and composed, regardless of the chaos around you. 5. Your time is limited and you are wasting more of it than you think. Time is the one resource you can never recover once it is gone. Yet, it is also the one most people take for granted. Days slip by unnoticed, filled with distractions, procrastination, and habits that do not contribute to your growth. It is easy to assume that you have plenty of time ahead, that you can always start tomorrow, that your goals can wait. But Stoicism forces you to confront a more uncomfortable reality. Your time is finite, and every moment wasted is a piece of your life you will never get back. This realization can feel overwhelming, but it is also deeply motivating. When you truly understand the value of time, you begin to use it more wisely. You become more intentional with your actions, more selective with your commitments, and more focused on what truly matters. You stop engaging in meaningless activities that drain your energy and start investing in your growth, your relationships, and your purpose. This does not mean living in constant pressure or anxiety. It means living with awareness. Each day becomes an opportunity rather than something to be taken for granted. By respecting your time, you honor your life itself, and that shift can transform everything. 6. No one is coming to save you. Perhaps the most brutal yet empowering truth is that no one is coming to rescue you. There is no perfect moment, no external savior, and no sudden event that will fix your life. Waiting for someone else to change your circumstances keeps you stuck in a passive state, hoping instead of acting. This truth can feel heavy because it places the full responsibility for your life on your shoulders. But within that responsibility lies incredible power. When you accept that it is up to you, you stop waiting and start moving. You take ownership of your decisions, your habits, and your direction. Stoicism teaches that you are responsible for your own growth, your own healing, and your own success. This does not mean you cannot seek help or support. It means you do not depend on it to move forward. You become self-reliant, disciplined, and resilient. Every small step you take builds momentum, and over time, those steps create a life you are proud of. Instead of feeling helpless, you feel in control of your path. This shift from dependence to ownership is what ultimately sets you free and allows you to build a life defined by strength and purpose. If this message opened your eyes and challenged the way you see life, then you are already ahead of most people. You are stepping into a mindset that values truth over comfort and growth over ease. Subscribe to this channel for more powerful Stoic wisdom that will help you strengthen your mind, take control of your life, and become the person you were meant to be.